Not,
Hi, everybody. We are live. Welcome back with Hero Complex. We are down a player, I'm sorry to say. We're interviewing for a new slot on the show, and we have everybody everybody who's going to be here for the moment. I believe Vet will be joining us shortly.
she
Thank you for
said she's
coming.
on.
Is she? Good. Yeah, there she is. Hey, Vet. Good. Let's go ahead and get you into.
John, we should get Colin in on this.
Let's see.
So what's everybody been up to in the intervening 2 weeks? I know it's been eventful.
Work.
My friend just started a job at Hyperion Global Partners, and I told her how dare she work for Handsome Jack.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I was gonna
now.
say, yeah. Screw that guy.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Actually, to be completely fair, someone else said, how dare you work for Hyperion, Jack controls them and they're super corrupt. And I came in and said, but Handsome Jack... Oh, I see someone already made that reference.
Yeah.
There's a camera pointed at the ceiling on Bet's camera.
There is.
No, I have a sticker over it. Let me change cameras.
Fair enough.
Can we have a camera pointed at Hime?
We can set up Hime Cam.
Where's she's not in here right now, or else I would oblige you.
Hime Cam!
All in favor of Hime Cam, say aye.
Everyone.
No, no one is here for Vet. Everyone is here for Hime, and I can't blame anyone.
I mean, cats are great.
I mean,
Hime is particularly pretty.
personally, I am here for all of you, so that includes you, Vet.
It's hard to do the thing with the microphone right here.
Isn't it, though?
Just... So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do my homework.
What was the homework?
Extra points off. Extra points off. I can't
What's
believe
the
it.
homework?
I'm just continuing what I was, like what kind of student I was in school. I never did homework there either.
Uh-huh.
But this I just forgot.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know there was homework. Someone tell me what the homework is.
See, that's the
Nope,
issue.
you
is
can
I
get
forgot
the
what,
you can get the notes from a student, and we're just gonna keep moving on without it.
What the homework was. It was the issue.
I didn't even know there was homework. When was this assigned?
At the end of last session, you were told to think about what you're going to do with your feats and your potential stat boost. Because guess what,
homework.
everybody, you're all level 4 now.
not
Congratulations.
homework.
John got a jump, so John, extra credit. You did your homework first.
That's not homework.
Yes, it is. Well, for those of you who would like to go ahead and sign in and take control of your characters, I see 2 of you. Actually, all 4 of you are signed in, but your characters aren't. There we go.
Mine's still loading up.
Still loading.
Loading.
All right. Now, quick questions. So, for those of you at home, sorry, this is going to be a little bit of bookkeeping and the fun part of playing D&D. We're about to go ahead and go through the level up process. So, has anybody thought about multi-classing, or if you'd like to keep your same class, if you'd like to go with a feat, stat boost, anything I should know about before I start just randomly dragging and dropping upgrades onto your sheets?
I mean, I don't want a multi-class. I'm concerned Fantasy Rounds isn't letting me roll my dice. Oh, wait.
There's all your dice.
It rolled. It was just taking a
Thanks,
moment.
Fantasy Round. Thanks.
It was trying to. It couldn't count all those 20s. You rolled so high.
It's true.
Well, there goes all your 20s for the session.
Yep. You just burned them all. I mean, it's good to get those out of the way first. And you only got rid of 1 of your 1s for the night.
Pepperonis.
What? Oh. Oh. No. So I'm more of the mind that I am calibrating the dice before the game. So proper calibration, the more 20s you get before the game, the better calibrated your dice are.
Nice way to look at it,
There
yeah.
are two schools of thought. Either you're calibrating your dice beforehand, or you're getting all of the bad rolls out.
Fair enough, yeah.
I'm
But
in
you
the
got all the
calibrating
good
the
rolls.
dice. Yeah, so I'm in the calibrating the dice
I'm not
mindset.
entirely sure that's how that works, but we'll just
We'll
go with that
it.
right now.
That's what we're going with.
Oh boy. That was a lot of rolls.
Just getting them out of the way early. Well, my dice seem to be calibrated. So, since we're all here, let's go ahead and do a quick recap so you have everything fresh in mind as you grow your characters together. First, I just want to say congratulations. You survived and successfully made your way through the first major arc. You have saved the town of Greenest. You have explored a cultist's camp. You destroyed dragon eggs. You eliminated a threat to the region, or at least chased it off. Didn't eliminate it entirely. And you got revenge on the scourge that terrorized the town. In doing so, you also rescued the monk Leosin Erlenthar, who is traveling currently with your former comrade, Pancho Vonsal, who you lovingly know as Too Far. The two of them are in close counsel, speaking together quietly as you make your way back to town. You've been traveling together on the wagons, shepherding the rescued citizens of Greenest and other places back to the town itself. In the course of this, you do have some time to reflect on your experiences and your growth. While you're doing so, I have to step away for just a moment, but feel free to discuss amongst yourselves what you would like to do, and I will be right back.
Cool. So guys, we have a major problem. Our bard was our healer.
Yeah. We're gonna have to change that up.
Oh, but I'm
Yeah.
really squishy. I can save the dying all I want.
I
But it
mean,
doesn't heal people.
hopefully we can get someone else for that last slot who wants to play a healer.
I can do a healer,
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, I'm a
good
paladin.
luck,
Yeah, you should have. You get like Healy spells, especially we're
Mhm.
level now, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, if you want Colin to join, good luck having him be a healer.
so get Colin to join, force him to be a cleric. Good plan. That definitely is not going to result in obscene amounts of chaos.
All he'd do is grab a club and smash things.
Yeah, except he'd call it his club of healing.
Probably.
And by healing, I mean putting you out of your misery.
Sometimes it's the only way to save them.
I mean, that's ye olden healing. I mean, let's be real. Here's a shot of whiskey. I'm gonna pull out all your teeth. You know.
Yeah.
You've got spirits in your blood. Do some cocaine.
There you go.
God, I love that post so much.
It's a good post.
So
I'm
is
trying
there
to
like
find-
a feat where I can heal? Because I don't mind doing heals in addition to the pew-pew, but I'm not seeing anything to let me do some heals.
So
I
they're
don't think your class has heals.
You're
I'm
right.
gonna pull up my D&D PDF.
Yeah, I've already got it open. I'm paging through it. If we all choose the feat healer, then we all have at least one heal in us.
Hmm.
And generally we can smash things before, like, we have to use it all, hopefully.
So did I hear that somebody was thinking about your lack of healing capacity?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
It's awful. It's just awful. Whatever will
Can I
you
make
do?
a deal with the fairy devil and get some healing spells?
I mean, you could multi-class cleric if you wanted.
Fascinatingly, the fairy devil as you call her, doesn't appreciate being called that, and you can sense this deep in your soul, where she has her
I'm sorry,
hooks in
but
you.
Titania would get the joke.
I mean, she would, but she is not amused.
Fair.
Now, there are options, of course. Multi-classing is, of course, a thing. Potions are, of course, a thing. I highly recommend investing in some healing potions if you don't have any healing magics yourselves. That typically is a little bit costly. However, if any of you has any particular skill with alchemy, you could potentially make them yourselves and sell them yourselves. It's a thing that I've seen some players do to actually make money along the road.
Well, I don't think I have alchemical skills in this character.
Well, let's take a look. What do you have, Laura?
What do my elf eyes see?
Let's see, abilities. Skills. Well, your background is librarian, so
Yeah, I can do some book alchemy. I can heal some books.
She's really good at book healing.
isn't she though? She could,
Except that my job at the library was withdrawing books, so I'm the opposite.
yeah.
Like whatever a necromancer for books is, that's me.
I would say that based on your background feature, you know enough about alchemy as a practical matter that if you wanted to try your hand at it, you could do it without proficiency. But you know enough about where the specific bits go that you could try it. So that would just be a straight roll,
Okay.
plus a d20 plus your intelligence. That would be all that is.
I think I'm pretty smart, maybe. Let me see, where's my intelligence?
You don't have an intelligence modifier, so
Ah,
I
that's
like
already
your.
rolled,
I
like,
think I'm pretty smart. Maybe.
now there are alternatives to that. You can also take proficiency in certain things by taking a feat, and that is doable. At level 4, you get your choice of either a feat or a stat upgrade.
Oh, didn't I use mine on a stat upgrade, actually? I think I did.
Yes. Actually,
Yeah, I did,
looking
so
at your
never-
character sheet, I see that you did. So yeah, you could make a shot at it, but it would just be based on book learning. You wouldn't be proficient in it, and
Okay.
without an intelligence bonus for you, that would just be a straight d20 roll and hope for the best. On the other hand, you have had reasonably good luck with your dice, so
Well, now you've cursed me.
Yeah.
You
R.I.P.
mentioned the
that.
good luck. I'm cursed now.
cursed.
So my PDF is refusing to open, so I'm having to look at this in Google Drive, which makes navigating it very difficult.
What are you trying to look up? Because it's also on Fantasy Grounds.
I was just gonna look at like the druid level up stuff.
Okay. Well, druids, looking at the player's handbook information on druids, says that at level 4 as a druid, you gain a wild shape improvement and an ability score improvement or feat. You also gain 1 additional cantrip, which you can choose. You also now can cast 4 first-level spells and up to 3 second-level spells.
Okay. So my wild shape improvement is max CR 1/2, no flying speed. So I can now swim.
Correct.
Guys,
You could
good
wild
news.
shape into something that can swim.
You can be a shark?
She can be a shark.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Reef shark. I can be a giant seahorse.
Oh my god, seahorse is my favorite.
I can be a giant seahorse, not just a regular.
Nice.
Dire seahorse.
Oh!
I love it. I love it.
I can be a giant poisonous snake or a constrictor snake.
Constrictor snake.
Or I can be a regular sized seahorse. Or an octopus.
Yeah, the octopus is kind of entertaining. You wouldn't do very well in land, but underwater you would be very dangerous.
Alright. So that's all the... I don't actually have to do anything for that. That just happens, right?
Yeah, you just gain it. Now, if you look under actions, you'll see you've improved your spell slots. You will need to search through the spells and pick for me one additional cantrip from the druid list that you would like to have.
Okay. I will
You've
do
already
that.
got Produce Flame and Shillelagh. Your options are Resistance, Thorn Whip, Mending, Guidance, Druidcraft, Poison Spray. That's it. That appears to be it. But that's using the Player's Handbook standard, so I don't see any additional Druid cantrips from any of the other books we have.
I might go with Poison Spray, since I pretty much am building a combat-oriented druid.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a good... that seems like a good one to take. Because, well, how does the poison damage work? Do they take more damage once they're poisoned?
Poisoned is both a damage type and a status effect.
So it just is the damage type, it's not the status effect.
Looking at Poison Spray from the Player's Handbook, that does not add the status effect. It does, however, force them to make a con save or take 1d12 poison damage, and that improves to 2d12 at 5th level.
But there's a chance for it to do completely nothing if they succeed on the con save.
That's true. On the other hand, your con save is your spell DC, and your spell DC, I believe, is nothing to sneeze at. Let me take a look at it. Funny enough, Moraruk, you do actually have proficiency in herbalism kits. You could make curatives with that. But you're also the only person in the party besides Manny who can now reliably cast healing magic. I do know that that was something you wanted to avoid, though, so you obviously are under no obligation. Let's see. You also can choose, once you pick a once you pick your cantrip, you can still choose either a stat upgrade or a feat.
Okay. Well, I will figure out what I want if you want to move on to someone else.
Okay, take your time.
Give it to me straight. What are my options?
Okay, well...
What's it looking like? Is it terminal?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. You're gonna be a paladin.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna die in that tin can you call armor.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't be the first time.
You got a drum set over there, John? That was coming through like a really...
That was my chair.
Oh, really? Okay. Alright. Well, Sir Auric, paladin time. Let's see here. From what I'm reading here, at 4th level you gain your ability score improvement and dice buff. You also gain... Looks like that's it. Not a lot of big changes for you.
Oh well.
Now, you can take the standard upgrade on your health die, or if you guys want to risk it, you're also welcome to roll for it and add your Constitution modifier. Sarah, your standard update was 7, although if you would prefer, you can roll for it. Manny, yours came out as an average increase of 8. You're welcome to roll for that instead as well. You have a D10 hit die. You could potentially get a pretty good bump there.
So we roll, and if we don't, and it's if it's less than half, we take half. Is that how that works?
If it's less than half, you generally, I generally allow you to take half to keep the training wheels on, so to speak.
What's my hit die?
As a druid, your hit die is a D8.
So how would I get an average of 7? I'm confused.
That was including your con modifier. It was 5 plus the 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll.
All right.
Good thing I rolled.
Wow. Very impressive. Okay. So
Nice.
you're at 34 instead. Sir Ark, you want to risk it?
You know what? Let's just do it.
That's good.
What
Just
am I
gotta
rolling now?
believe. Look at this team. We're gonna do great.
We're gonna do great. I do believe.
We're gonna do great.
Just
I
throw
believe in
down,
all of us.
Throw down a D10. Just a D10.
Oh,
Oof.
oh,
So that would be a
Good
5
boy.
for you.
look at this team. We're gonna do great.
So
I was believing. Was everybody else believing at the
I
same
was-
time?
believing.
I believed.
Did he add in his con modifier to that?
He did, yes. He did, in fact. But yes, so Manny, you've got a lot of feats to pick from that might help you. You could also instead just go for the stat increase. It's
Where can I
entirely
see
up to
my
you.
feats at? Where do I find that?
Feats are available for you on the right-hand tab. If you go to Library, bottom right corner,
Yes.
and then you hit when the library pops up, you'll see a number of different options checked.
Mhm.
Check the one that says Feats.
Yes. All right, it's checked. Now I just open it over the side here.
Yes.
It is blank.
It is blank. Hang on a second. Oh, it's partly because it's loading new data modules. Sorry about the delay for those at home. This is just part of the process. I will try to do this off camera in the future, but we didn't have an opportunity to get together before this, so. But that's part of the point of the show, is to, get a feel for what the game is like and various things that we do. Hey there, Money. How you doing out there, buddy? Hey, Nightsteed.
Money.
Alright, looking under feats. So, Manny, things you might enjoy. If you want, you can either update from your primary stats. You can pick 2 of them and raise them both by 1, or you can pick 1 and raise it by 2.
Okay.
Your other options are to pick a feat from the list, and it should be showing you the whole list now. It's finished loading, so try it again, and under the grouping, go to all, and it'll give you a list to look through. Any changes?
No.
Okay. Well, let's see here. So you're mostly wanting to play a sword and board character, right?
Correct.
All right. Now, there is a feat called Sentinel that might be helpful to you. I don't know if this is something you would want, but it does, as far as protective techniques go, it can be useful. Whenever you take an opportunity attack, you use your reaction to attack someone, and you hit them, that creature's speed suddenly becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. Creatures
Nice.
within 5 feet of you provoke opportunity attacks from you, even if they take the disengage action before leaving your reach. So like a rogue who can disengage as a bonus action from you without provoking an attack of opportunity, doesn't work out. They do anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right up my alley right there.
Yeah, so that might
yeah.
be worth considering. Let's see. Weapon Master's not a bad idea if you were thinking of going for alternative weapons, but you are wanting to stick with sword and board. Shield Master is a favorite of mine. I happen to like this one. The Shield Master feat lets you take an attack action on your turn, and then you use a bonus action to shove the creature 5 feet with your shield if the attack lands. So if you take an attack on your turn, you can use your shield to force someone you're fighting to move.
Gotcha.
If you aren't incapacitated, you can also add your shield's AC mod to your dexterity saving throws against any harmful spell or other effect that targets only you. So like if someone tries to hit you with a magic spell or a just a magic arrow, a firebolt, something in particular, you can force them to miss potentially by adding the +2 shield bonus to your dexterity save, which is a good thing in your case because you actually don't have any. I mean, your armor's heavy enough that it would negate most dex bonuses anyway, but your I believe your dexterity is a 10, so that's just a straight d20 roll for you.
Yeah.
It also lets you, if you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex save for half damage, you can use your reaction to take no damage instead if you succeed on the saving throw, interposing your shield between yourself and the source of the effect. So like a fireball, for example. Somebody lobs a fireball, you make your dexterity save for half. In a situation like that, you can use Shield Master to essentially just hunker down behind your shield and no damage from that effect. It's not quite the same as evasion, but it does provide help for folks who wouldn't otherwise be terribly dexterous.
Yeah, no, that one sounds good.
So there's a couple of options here that I think might be useful for you.
I think I want to do that shield mastery, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. There was one other I was going to recommend for you that I think might potentially be of great help to you. You wear a lot of heavy armor. You seem to soak an awful lot of damage.
Yes.
Heavy Armor Master is a feat.
Oh, okay.
Heavy Armor Master grants you a strength bonus of 1. You get 1 additional point in strength. While you're wearing heavy armor, you have 3 resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons. So the first 3 points of any hit you take, you soak.
Nice.
So that it effectively gives you Well, it's damage resistance for the new world, and
Yeah.
for 5th edition, I find it incredibly handy, especially if you constantly find yourself standing in the middle of the fray,
Well,
which you
that
do.
that kind of makes more sense, yeah, for me. At least the way my character is playing, is deciding to play his life out here.
Yeah. Do you want to go with that one, and that'll give you both the
Yeah.
stat bonus and the additional defense?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that instead. And 3, 2, 1, Heavy Armor Master. All right, the +1 strength has been adjusted on you as well. Your strength is now 15, and the first 3 points of any physical, non-magical attack that you take get soaked, as
Sweet.
long as you're wearing heavy armor. Yeah, it's a favorite for mine, too.
Yeah, it just makes more sense with the route that my character seems to be taking.
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps you a lot, too. I mean, if that's less healing you have to dump onto yourself, necessarily.
Hmm.
I have a question on the ability score modifier. So this is either you do a feat or an ability score modifier, correct?
One of the two.
You,
So if you do ability score modifier, that's
you
just
take 2 in 1 or 1 and 2 of them.
what?
What's your question, Sarah?
So if I do an ability score, it's you put 2 points in one ability score or 1 point in 2 ability scores?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Any other changes? That leaves us, I believe, caught up with everyone. Vet, I think we took care of you already, seems like. Let me double check and make sure your spells are caught up.
I'm pretty sure I did mine at the end of the last session.
I believe you did too, because I'm seeing you already at level 4. Vet, you have a huge pile of cantrips and a bunch of spells, and you are now casting at the 2nd level, I believe. Let me double check your classes here real fast. Let's see, level 4, the only real improvement you get is the ability score plus... Yeah, you gain 1 additional cantrip, 1 additional spell. Your slots stay the same. Your invocations and spell level casting stays the same. Next level is when things really get interesting for the rest of you.
Oh, I might have some spells. I should look at that.
I don't think you picked a 1st level spell.
Who, me or John?
You, Vet.
Um,
Because you've got Fairy Fire, you've got Hellish Rebuke, you've got Sleep, you've got Disguise Self. I think actually no, I think Disguise Self is the spell you picked.
I think
You
so.
get an extra 1st level spell. Awesome.
Guys, I gotta start like dating when I choose spells.
Yeah, you've got the right number of spells, you're fine.
Okay.
So that was the new one you picked, Disguise Self.
No, I don't pick any new spells other than a cantrip, right?
You get 1 new cantrip, and you gain some additional spell slots, but being a druid, you just have to prepare your spells each day. Because you basically just get all the druid spells. That's how it works.
You do?
Pretty much.
That's not what I wanted to click.
Oh, I had it on prepared. Okay, yeah, standard shows everything. Gotcha. Okay, and then when I go back to combat, it shows. Okay, cool.
Right.
Um,
And as you can see, you've gained an additional second level slot.
right. Do you have any recommendations on?
Cantrips?
Well, I meant whether I should do the take a feat or do the ability score.
Well, Wisdom affects your spell attack and spell DC modifier.
And it's 1 point away from another.
I would look for a feat that lets you take a point in Wisdom and gain some kind of benefit personally. I mean, there are some options out there. Let's take a look.
I mean, I could just do resilience.
You mean the feat?
Resilient lets you choose one ability score, increase it by 1, and then gain proficiency in saving throws using the chosen.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, sure. Resilient is good for that, that's true. But you already have, I believe, Wisdom as a saving throw because you're a druid.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
So that doesn't help you as much.
So the ones I was thinking of were Sentinel and Warcaster.
Warcaster's a really good one. I cannot talk enough about how much I love Warcaster. Advantage on con save throws. You can perform somatic components even if you have a weapon or a shield in one or both of your hands. And on your opportunity attacks, or as a reaction, you can cast a spell to attack a creature rather than trying to just hit them. So if they run past, you can lash out with a spell. I mean, as someone who plays a caster in a lot of situations, I'm a huge fan of Warcaster.
Okay. That doesn't give me an increase in wisdom, though. Was there something you had in mind that would give an increase in wisdom?
I'm looking.
Okay.
I mean, I'm certain there's something out there. Sounds like all of us are struggling a little bit with this weather flip-flopping back and forth.
Yeah, man. I was pretty good sick, I think, about 2 weeks ago, and then I totally bounced out of it and like energetic. My kids went to school for 1 week.
Oh,
That's all
man.
it took. And then now everyone's got it.
Well, it's hard to hear.
It's alright, we'll survive. Hopefully.
Yeah, nothing really stands out beyond the one that you mentioned. But since you've already got proficiency in wisdom saving throws, that really doesn't help you as much. In your case, I would probably stick with the stat increase. You could just go for a straight up wisdom +2. Just go for a wisdom of 17, and that way any other advancements you find in the future, you go that much higher.
Yeah. Well, wisdom is what most of my spell stuff is based on, yeah? Sure, let's just go with that just so we can get to the actual, like, game.
All right, done. So, is that everything? Anyone else have any things they want to cover? I'll take that as a no. All right. Let's get back to the story then. So, as I was saying before, things that have happened with you and it's been a tough road. Finishing everything and getting to the point where you were prepared to move on from the Dragon Hatchery. So you have successfully returned. One second. Pardon me. With the Dragon Hatchery destroyed and all the cultists gone, you can now head back to Greenest and collect on your original hiring by the mayor. Over the course of the short wagon trip back, it does take several days. Mororook. Over the course of your return trip, you have the dream again. It's a strange and frequently had dream. The world being destroyed by frost or fumes, lightning storms and waves of acid, horrifying fire. You see in the darkness 10 glowing evil eyes glaring back at you from the darkness. The dream still shakes you, just as it did before, but now it offers no guidance. It doesn't seem to compel you to travel to a specific place because you've already made your journey to Greenest. You have this. You do get a sense as you waken that you've seen these 10 eyes somewhere before. Make a straight wisdom check.
Oh, that's a save, sorry. Wrong one. There we go. Same outcome. Different die.
All right.
I'm the best.
Same outcome.
All the modifiers.
You shake it off, but it sticks with you throughout the day as you travel. You're not sure what it is exactly, but something about this dream now seems very familiar to you. Something specific seems to drive you. As the rest of you return and you make your way back, there are, let's see, there are about 13 or 14 of the prisoners that you've returned successfully. The mayor is thrilled to see everyone back and is very happy to take in additional refugees that are following behind you in your train. People who have been taken from other locations and brought back in. You turn over as much as can be done the loot that you brought back, and they do pay you for this. Each of you should receive as a total from this an additional 125 gold, I believe. And if you'll give me just a moment, I'll go ahead and drop that into the party.
Awesome.
there are like um amulets that we picked up while we were in there that we wanted to like get information on.
Yeah, there were.
Those weren't, to the best of our knowledge, if I remember correctly, they weren't like things that we thought belonged to the townspeople, correct?
No, these are strangely carved of various material. Amulets in bone, ivory, soapstone, and wood,
Right.
and they all appear to be of some kind of dragon. Each one. You can make a nature check to try and determine what type, if you wish. They look like they might have some value to a collector. They're interesting enough, you could probably sell them to anyone, but it really depends what you would like to do with them.
We don't know who their owner is. We should probably just keep it with us, sell it if we need it,
Yeah. I'll go ahead and make a nature check.
Okay, go ahead.
I check the
You
hell.
recognize,
Yeah.
Moruruk, as you turn them over in your hands, you recognize that these are carved of, in the stylings of various kinds of chromatic dragon, but all of them depict someone's rendition of a black dragon. One of them is lovingly rendered in soapstone, and while it does gleam with the soft green of soapstone, it has been weathered slightly, so that it does a very good job of showing the detail of the black scales. It looks like this is definitely a well-rendered piece. This would probably fetch a pretty good price. The ivory is done very well in the same style. The bone is a blackened piece that shows the same dragon in a slightly different pose. All of these amulets, the wood one included, do look to be of excellent workmanship and would be of interest to a collector.
They really like their black dragons.
Just a smidge.
Okay, so I guess we probably will need to talk to
Bless you.
the mayor.
Bless you.
How many people did we say from the camp?
You personally on your wagon on the couple of wagons that you took back, brought back 13 people.
So we got 13 people out of the camp.
Yes, you did an excellent job of it.
We are the best.
Yeah.
Did a very fine job. Leosin is with you, and he and Governor Nighthill. I beg your pardon, I shortchanged you guys. I just checked my notes. Governor Nighthill pays the characters, let's see, additional money. All right. So the governor beckons you over.
No.
The governor beckons you over as he sees you approaching, and he's getting everyone settled. He finally has a spare moment, busy from this. Welcome back. Thank you all for your work.
You are most welcome.
Previously, we had agreed 250 gold apiece for your work. I think you've well earned it, and I will be happy to provide all of you with this. He brings up a small sack containing approximately 1,000 gold, and splits it off amongst the lot of you after giving a separate bag of 250 to Too Far.
Making it rain.
Except you're hurting people with like the coins, like
Yeah,
ow, stop.
I'm gonna go into the bookshop and just gonna make it rain. And yeah, the bookseller just be like, "Oh, please stop! No, not again."
This is
Not
actually how
again.
we know Scrooge McDuck was really a dragon, because nobody else could swim through that many coins. That just doesn't happen that way. It's very painful. All right.
The bookstore owner just comes to accept that this happens every time Valara gets paid.
Yeah.
Yep. Every 2
I
weeks.
have an umbrella now. Oh, it's payday.
Eh, more or less. So each of you takes your coin.
Yes.
Sweet.
Now, the amulets, do you still have those out where he can see them, or are those...
No, I hadn't taken those out. I was just questioning if they were,
Okay.
if we thought they belonged to, like, townsfolk or not. But, since
There
they
was really
don't,
nothing to tell you for sure. Make an investigation check.
okay. I investigate the hell out of those amulets.
There. Your dice are just on fire. They're totally
calibrated
calibrated. Totally calibrated.
What happens? Let this be a lesson to you out there on the internet about the importance of calibrations.
Calibrating your dice.
Can we talk later, Shepard? I'm doing some calibrations.
Exactly.
Too much Garrus here.
Not
No.
enough
Garrus
Garrus.
here.
There's never enough Garrus.
I'll always choose Mr. Kittyface.
He's wonderful.
Brandon Keener, if you're out there and would like to join our game, we'd be happy to have you.
I have a t-shirt or a sweater that has Garrus on it, and it says Alien Space Boyfriend.
Yep. Accurate, though.
Definitely a great character.
Josh, are you making fun of my Ote?
Yes, yes, he is.
He's mocking me.
He is.
This is bullshit.
Yeah. I feel personally attacked too, actually.
Yeah. Why can't I say Ote?
What gives, Josh?
What is this, like 2006?
Yeah. Meme talk is a thing. I don't know if that's from a meme. I'm gonna be honest.
It's not.
No.
I'm as the resident memebrarian. It's not. That's not. A
Isn't
good
that
one.
from like Eddie Murphy doing the Little Rascals, like
It is, actually.
back in the 70s?
It is.
Never seen that.
Really? That's where I don't know if that's where it originated, but that's the earliest I think I know where it was from.
That's, as far as I know, that is where it's from. So, I think we should probably check with Yvette on that one. Maybe she can be our own personal Know Your Meme website.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not remembering that one, to be honest.
Hashtag old.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hashtag old.
I mean, I don't know that. It's totally normal, like totally like modern, right? I mean, I don't.
Thank you. See,
Never heard it before.
Josh agrees with us. Let that be a lesson to you folks out there. We do know stuff. But yes, with a little bit of conversation and discussing with the surrounding townsfolk and some of the folks that you rescued, no one seems to recognize the amulets, or knows any, or has seen them on anyone else.
I wasn't showing them to anyone.
Well, that was the investigation role. So if you don't want to do that, I can always take back the information. You no longer know that. Just erase it from your brain.
You drank like half a bottle of tequila and you forgot the night.
I am playing a very, very introverted, quiet character. She doesn't go around showing. In fact, she pretty much doesn't talk about anything to anyone.
Okay. How would you
maybe
like?
she just had him
How would
out
you
and the
like
townsfolk
to
came up.
investigate? And I'll work it out for you. What would you like to do to investigate this?
They're dragon amulets, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a dragon scholar. I've studied dragons and their lore for many years.
She might have
That tells you, that's very helpful to you when you want to know something about a dragon or about the particular kind of dragon. It tells you nothing about who might have owned these.
If I fail an intelligence check to recall lore relating to dragons, you know someone or some book you can consult for the answer unless the DM rules the lore as you know.
That is true. That is true. Okay. You do remember that you knew a tradesman who came through once. He was with a ranger who was guiding him through the woods and stayed with your tribe very briefly. But he was actually one of the people who taught you about dragons. And he resides... he resides in Baldur's Gate. But he also goes back and forth between several other towns. You might ask him.
We going on a field trip?
Yes.
Field trip! Everyone got their permission slips?
I got it signed by me.
Okay, that's good to know. Are we doing anything else with the mayor?
Let me see. Give me just a moment.
I hereby give permission for Sir Eric to possibly come near death once again.
Ah, yes. I got permission, guys. I'm going. Woo!
So, no, Governor Nighthill, Nighthill, thanks you all for your time. Do you guys want to stay for the night, rest up properly in a bed, and make sure that you can? Okay, because it's been a rough couple of days for all of you.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd like a bath. I would like a bed. I would like things to not stink of cultists.
I would like to not almost die one night.
Although I would also.
I don't know.
Enjoying
That's asking a lot, Manny.
That kind of is. I know. I'm just wishing.
I got my spare the dying slap ready.
Fair enough.
This hand of mine.
Just
All right.
put your little hand in mine.
Well, in that case,
I go look for Puck.
okay. Well, while Moruk has gone to look for Puck, the rest of you let her know, I suppose, that you're going to look for an inn. Governor Nighthill finishes thanking you all, and after much handshaking and clapping you all on the back and thanking you, he says, Please, I know that we're still rebuilding, we're in the process of putting everything back together, but I couldn't have asked for better from all of you, and you got the caravan here safely, so thank you, really, all of you. Please, you be my guest here at the keep. You may have the guest quarters set aside for dignitaries and separate visitors who are coming in. I would offer you fine rooms at the inn. They're actually nicer, but the inn is currently, well, we're fixing it. It was struck by lightning from that blasted dragon, so... In any case, please, you be our guests. Join me for breakfast in the morning. We will see to if there's anything else I can do to help you before you make your way, or if you'd like to stay before you move on.
When he says be our guests, do
Yeah.
master dancing silverware plates and other
See,
accoutrements
I think this is a sign that you need a good night's sleep because you're
Make a
clearly
perception
hallucinating.
check.
I'm not there. I went to look for Puck. I just wanted to.
Are we all doing perception checks?
No,
here?
no, just Moruk.
I'm not there. I went to look for Puck.
No, you need to make your perception check for Puck anyway.
Okay. I went to perceive Puck. I left him in the that.
In the cart?
No, he was with the dudes in the aviary.
Yes, you did. As you're climbing the aviary, you do find a candelabra and a clock sitting next to each other on the steps. You're not really sure what they're there for, but they look suspicious. As you approach the top of the aviary, you do see Puck. Asleep. Like you do. Lazy dog.
Puck! He's a wolf.
He whines slightly, wags his tail.
Puck, I have a new friend for you to meet. I open my backpack up.
He wanders over and puts his nose directly into your backpack.
No, Puck, that's rude. I let Bear out first.
Bear immediately clambers up your arm and nestles on your neck.
And then I reach in and carefully pull out, I assume the sleeping bat friend, sky puppy friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you ever name Sky Puppy?
Yeah, I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah, she did, but I don't remember what it was.
You
Thomas. It was Thomas.
did, I
Yes.
think.
It was Thomas.
Thomas the Sky Puppy, yes.
Yeah.
So like a tank engine?
Well, more like Thomas Wayne. I thought Bruce.
I get it. I get the meme.
Yeah, she went there. She did.
So I pull out Sleeping Thomas and show Puck, who is presumably terrified because it's new.
Thomas lets out a very sleepy little bat yawn. Just
Oh.
Super effective.
Puck. Let me see how Puck does with this.
Is Puck suspicious?
Puck looks. Puck leans over, sniffs slightly, and then backs away with a very quizzical look on his face.
This is Thomas. He's a bat. And I don't think he's even capable of hurting you, so it's okay.
Puck kind of whines at you in a very disbelieving sort of way.
Well, you'll have to get used to him. He's traveling with us now.
He walks over and sniffs again. Tentative little lick. And
Okay.
He nudges your hand with his nose.
I give him pets and behind the ear scratches.
He eats those up. He loves those.
All right. Are
The
there people up here?
There is. There are the two guards who are on rotation up here. They've been keeping Puck company and feeding him apparently quite a bit. He appears to be sitting next to a pile of well-chewed bones.
I'm going
Hey.
to.
Thank you for lending us your friend here. He's been excellent company.
Thank you for watching him.
Oh,
I know.
it was no trouble at all. And they give him a little friendly rough.
I will give them each a gold piece.
Okay, mark
And
that
then-
off. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Really, you don't have to do that. It's no trouble at all.
I know he's a scaredy cat and a picky eater, so I appreciate you putting up with him.
I'm very inclined to turn this down. You sure?
Yes, it's fine. I know he's a handful.
That's
I'm sure
very
he.
kind of you. And if you ever need a dog sitter, you're welcome to bring him back by if you're ever in town.
Thank you. Morrook.
Miss Morrook. Well, it is my pleasure to have looked after your wolf and to make your acquaintance.
Thank you. She awkwardly turns around and leaves because she doesn't know how to handle human interaction.
Look at her making friends.
No. He's growing.
I will find
So proud
What's
of
your
her.
passive perception?
what's my passive perception.
Yeah.
What?
You very faintly hear some conversation as you leave.
What do I very faintly hear?
Do you want to roll for it?
What do I roll? Perception?
Mhm.
I don't perceive it.
You don't know what you heard.
She knows. She looks over and I'm just like.
Yeah. So you collect your wolf and head back into the keep proper.
Yeah, and I will find whatever the closest room is to kind of crash with my menagerie.
The closest rooms are some of the guest quarters, so you're not very far from everyone else.
Gosh, I have 3, alright? I need you to calm down. Also, don't call them mamminoles.
All right. For the rest of you, anything you would like to do before you bed down for the evening?
Mm,
Can I see if there's a bookstore in town? I mean, I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it in this
Make
little
an
town,
investigation
There was one.
check.
It got burned.
but...
Make an investigation check.
You weep the tears of the librarians at the Library of Alexandria.
Oh my.
You do find, slightly the worse for wear from the dragon attack and the looting, a bookstore run by an old gnome. Very frizzy tuft of hair on top and just sticking out in all directions. He's still slightly soot covered and doesn't appear to have been very focused on personal hygiene as he's been scrambling trying to put his life back in order after the attack. What appears to be the remains of a barricade of bookshelves and chairs and things that were very nearly the size of himself had been piled up near the door, and they've begun to be stacked and slowly put back as you arrive at the bookstore, which is called the this is called the Burned Codices.
Oh, that's an oddly telling name.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yes, hello. Can I help you? He squints at you kind of nearsightedly.
I was wondering, my good gnome sir, if you had any books for sale on dragons.
Books? I've got lots of books.
Yes.
On dragons, you say?
Yes.
Dragons. Dragons. Perhaps. Come this way. And he sort of leads you into the shop. Don't touch anything. And he sort of waves his hand, and a group of dancing lights, which you recognize as the spell, Dancing Lights, flies out from his fingertips and lights the little lanterns around the room. No normal fire in here. We can't have it. Not after the first time. That's why the place has its name, you understand. My brother left a candle burning here. This place used to be called the Gilded Codices. Dragons, you say? Let me see. Yes, right here. Dragons. He pulls out a very slim, tattered volume. It looks old, weathered. But, neatly bound. And covered in cloth. And he plops it down on the countertop and blows the dust off the cover. Just... Yep, there we go. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We're fine.
You're very tall.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Right.
Not really.
Well, it's not like most of the people in this town aren't. Anyway. So, there you are. Book on dragons.
Okay. So does this look like something that I've seen in Candlekeep previously? I'm pretending to do my job as a wandering Candlekeep librarian and, get new books for the library.
Make a profession check on your librarian. On your librarian skill. You've seen this before, but as part of a 5-part set. And this is a copy that is frequently missing from the library itself. This one in particular pertains to green dragons.
Nice. Okay, I will definitely take this one happily.
All right then.
Do you also have any cookbooks on regional cuisine for the area?
Cookbooks? Yes, of course. Yes. Got 6 of those. He goes and he actually brings up 6 different copies of different books about regional cuisine. 2 of them appear to be by the same author, who seems to be a local resident.
Nice.
Very popular, these. That'll be 10 10 silver for each of the cookbooks and 5 gold for the book on dragons.
I will do you one better, my good man, and I will pay you double that.
Truly.
Yes,
You
to
are
help you.
welcome here anytime you like. Thank you.
Of course.
He immediately accepts your deal. He doesn't haggle, he doesn't quibble, he just, thank you! And immediately pushes the books over to you. Now, be very careful with those. All sales are final, and if you ever have any need of any books at all, come find me.
Of course, thank you. Also, I've been looking for someone. I know that they came through Greenest, and they do enjoy their tawdry romance novels, so they probably stopped in here.
Oh, I have a store of those.
Yeah, I personally am not looking. However,
You sure?
I will be reading cookbooks tonight. But I was just curious more so if my friend had come in through here. Possibly looking for dragon books, more likely looking for cheap romance novels.
Well, what do they look like?
She is also an elf. Where'd my notes go? Shit. Yeah. Also, she's half elf. Troublemaker, and you can tell just from looking at her. Wouldn't blend in around here, so she'd kind of stick out a little bit.
I see. Let me think. Nobody's bought any tawdry romance novels in the last week. Although I don't suppose I could tempt you with one. I have this one here. It's really quite exciting.
What's the general plot?
God, you're gonna have to. You're really. All right. I put my foot in that one. He leans in, sort of brings you close, and says, "It's about a young woman who goes out to save the world, and she falls in love with, of all things, a tabaxi. He's an archer. He's very, very particular about his bows and arrows. Always seems to be tweaking them, but it's quite the story. You might enjoy it.
That actually sounds rather enjoyable. I think I've heard of this one before. Is the romantic interest named Garrus, perhaps?
You have read these.
No, but I've heard wonderful reviews of them, so I think I'll.
Well, this is the newest one in the set, so there's a whole series of them.
I'll take the new one then. You know, just for to add to the library, of course.
Of course, to the library. Yes,
Absolutely.
He kind of nudges you with his elbow, and, about knee height for you, and then he says, "Well, here you are, and since you're such a fan, I'll throw in the first 2." And he slides them over to you and says, "That'll be 7 silver."
I go ahead and pay him.
All right. Go ahead and mark off the related gold from your character sheet. And you've now collected a lot of books.
Yes.
That is not the title. We are not going with.
That's obviously the title.
That is not the title at all.
How do I mark off gold on this thing?
Under your inventory, you should be able to see where you have quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's 1 copper.
Yeah, I see it. I'm just not seeing how to edit it.
Oh, just click the number and then type the new number.
Okay.
So. And don't forget to mark off the gold for the dragon book and the additional 1 gold piece each for the cookbooks.
I would totally read Astronema any day.
There you go.
You brought this on yourself, Ryan.
As soon as you mentioned that he was tweaking those arrows, I'm like, no, you did not just. I can't resist.
Oh, and he's a tabaxi too, so he's a cat person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I went there. I absolutely went there.
You're a good bookseller, my good sir.
Well, thank you. You're a very good book patron.
I kind of need fan art.
All right. So he goes and says, "Well, anything else I can get to you? I do need to go and lock up for the evening so I can start fresh in the morning, see about cleaning up some more of this mess." As you look around the shop, you can see parts of it have been smashed. You know, there are sconces that have apparently been torn straight off the wall. The place is a little bit of a mess.
Can I offer to help him, like, for the evening, put it back together?
Oh, well, I could certainly use the help, and you are quite a bit taller than me.
I can get those tall shelves real easily.
Right. Make a persuasion check.
I mean, it's a problem.
Yeah, no, of course. I tell you what. I'll have some food brought in from the keep, since the inn is occupied, and the two of us can get to work on this. I don't suppose you happen to know any magic.
Of course I do. What do you take me for?
Excellent, thank you. And over the course of the next several hours, as you work through the evening, discussing books and talking about local cuisine and the various foods that are available, and they do bring over a very decent, very passable potato stew from the keep, with a number of other greens mixed in. You discuss the finer points of illusion magic with him and different things that he knows how to do while he quizzes you about your own talents. And you find that he knows the mending spell, while he finds your prestidigitation cantrip incredibly useful. Between the two of you, you're able to shave off probably like 3 or 4 days worth of cleaning work for him, because your prestidigitation spell is able to get out a lot of the carbon scoring from lightning strikes and the smell in general, which is a lot of the problem, and clear up mold and things that would have taken him a month or more to properly get done. But he offers you the guest room and toddles up to bed, but if you don't take him up on it, he'll lock up for the evening after you head home. You probably make it back somewhere around 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Cool. Yay, friendship.
And you've made a friend. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm good or anything. I didn't say that to him. Like that was my mental.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You've helped preserve Greenest's store of knowledge, though, and he greatly appreciates that. That means a lot to him. Manny, John, what do you guys want Sir Arik and Jarell to do over the course of the day? Or the
We
evening?
should have a drink, man. Let's sit down. Let's have a drink. Maybe walk around outside a little bit. I heard there's a good bookstore that sells like books there that are like romance or something. Valara came in here and was just talking all about it.
Yeah.
And now I gotta go read one.
Sounds something Sarah could be into.
Oh, can that be like his secret? Like that he just loves.
Is that Sir Arik's secret? Is he's really into tatty romances?
Yeah.
I really am. Like when like Valara's sleeping, like I'm going through her bag with my, and being like, oh my gosh, I gotta find out what Darcy does next. Like.
Yeah.
I like this headcanon.
Yeah. There's there's a couple of hidden books, I imagine, stashed in Sir Arik's pouch, but we'll find out later. In any case, if you guys want to find a drink, you don't have to go far. The inn may be shut down, but the mess hall at the keep is just bustling. with people, and everybody has something, and there's actually a couple of people even selling things, beer, liquor.
I'd like to check it out and just kind of get a feel for what's going on with the people and stuff there, you know.
Make a perception check as the two of you head down to the mess hall.
Food.
Perception.
Give me one too, Jarrell. Great. Okay.
Dice calibrated.
Yeah, very well calibrated. As you guys come down, the very first thing that strikes your nose, pork. So much pork.
I don't dig on swine, but Sarek definitely digs on swine,
Well,
and he totally wants them.
all right. Well, someone has slaughtered a hog and brought it in and made a proper, barbecue that they've been working on all day, apparently. For those who didn't have an interest in that potato stew that I mentioned earlier is being actively made right there. There's leek, there's green onions, there's carrots, all kinds of things mixed into this thing. It actually smells delightful, and people are just clustered around it. There's a couple of very large pots that are constantly being cooked and replaced as people come in to get fed, because that's, with the town, somewhat damaged, this is where everyone's coming to get their meals.
I will sneak out of my room long enough to acquire food for me and my pets, and then go back.
Okay. The guards who are distributing the food recognize you, and they make sure that you get a pretty good helping of that. Oh, here, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you. And they hand you a very large bowl.
I give most of the food to Puck, and Squirrel, and Bear,
Okay.
and Thomas.
Okay. Yeah, they'll let you take a like a separate mug or something for yourself if you need. In any case, the boys, when you come down, you find that there is food aplenty. That people are going a little crazy, partly in celebration from having survived a dragon attack, and just generally happy to be alive. It's been a very stressful time. So that's the general mood that you find.
That's good. That makes my character Sarek kind of loosens up. He gets out of his his stoic kind of thing, and just like this to him is like the benefits of helping and almost dying multiple times is getting to see like free people and like everyone kind of like, he doesn't care about the gold, he doesn't care about all that stuff, he likes to see this kind of stuff, so he definitely feels good.
Good. All right. Yeah, you hear some of the boisterous townsfolk next to you just go, "Oh, 3 cheers for those adventurers, yeah. Bringing back all of our people. Hardly anyone was missing at all. I was real sad about old Story, though. Yeah, we're gonna miss him. Yeah. But I'm happy. We made it. Right? We made it. Yeah. If I see them, I'm buying them a beer." Yeah. And they're kind of enjoying themselves. They're clearly too in their cups to immediately see you, but if you do you want them to see you, they can easily.
Too, I'll be like, hey, Jarrell, man, that fight earlier, woof, that was tough, man.
Hey, that was you guys.
That was us,
Yeah.
man. That was
Hey,
us. Yes.
Come on over here. Have a drink with us.
Awesome. Let's go, Jarrell. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
come
go.
on.
Come on.
There's these two guys. They just haul you over to the table, and
The
everybody.
humility of paladins.
Yes.
Everybody around the table immediately starts clapping you both on the back and just shaking your hand. Before you know it, you're not really sure how it happened, but there is a gigantic mug full of ale in one of your hands. They just like shoved it in there. Same thing happens to you, Jarrell, and they're just clapping you on the back. Nobody seems to care that you're a tiefling, and this is a strange feeling for you because you've been used to people staring at you and giving you weird looks. These people are actively like giving you hugs and fist bumping you and keeping your mug full for you.
And Drell, it would be rude to not drink all this in one shot, like right now. You know, they offered us, they
You're gonna
gave
do
it to us.
Yeah.
We can't waste it. We
Oh,
need to.
you're gonna take a single shot with us, huh? All
Oh,
right,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They clamp down their mugs and raise them up.
Start making constitution.
Yes.
To our adventurers,
Yes.
and too many more successful lives saved. Aye, and then. All right, Constitution checks for slamming those beers.
Here
This
comes
is one of my few characters that actually has a decent constitution.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Well, Aric's out.
You're
I'm done.
you're lucky. You're lucky that the initial beers are not that strong.
Okay.
So you made your initial save.
In my defense, I almost died like 3 times up the road. Okay, so
There's
you know.
He doesn't have much blood left in him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have much.
Exactly. There's a moment as you're drinking where you're like, oh wait, God, I don't know if I can. Wait a minute, this is practically water. What am I doing? And you just kind of muscle it past the reflex. Jarell, you put this thing away like a champ, and a cheer goes up from the entire crowd, and you cover Manny's shame. Sir Auric, everybody's so busy congratulating you for just doing it in one straight pull that nobody really notices Sir Auric had to stop and choke for a second. But I mean, before you even have a chance to do anything, 2 fresh mugs get put in your hands.
I'm ready to roll again. Let's do this.
All right. All right.
For someone who almost died, you're pretty. You're throwing back.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm gonna have to make a roll for the guys who are drinking with you. Ooh. Okay, one of them does fine. The other guy who pulled you over, he puts it away, and either he's had more than you guys showed up, or this is just not his night, because by the time he finishes that first round, he kind of teeters for a second and goes, I love you guys. Y'all are...
Yes. It wasn't me first.
Just flattens on the ground right there. Do you want to go for another round?
Oh, I'm going for a round. Come on,
All
Drill,
right.
let's do this.
Okay. The guy goes, don't mind my buddy. He does this all the time. He'll be fine.
Oh!
That's worse.
Ooh. All right.
The last time. You should be okay.
Jarell, I mean, the check is going up, obviously. Jarell, as you put this one away, this time it's Sir Auric who manages to put the beer down without too much of a fuss, because, which is fine, because it covers while everybody's cheering for him until there's that retching sound.
Oh no!
And everybody turns and looks at you and goes,
Oh.
No!
as some of the beer comes back onto your chest and you start horking it onto the floor a little bit, and you're like, okay, maybe that was a little fast.
Alright.
So you've got it all down your front. I mean, it's not pleasant.
We need to get some pork in us, man, so we can absorb all that stuff in there, dude. Yeah. So we need to eat.
Somebody comes over with like a dirty cloth and starts smearing it all over your chest plate. It's just like, there you go, buddy. And just wipe that up. So now you smell of, puke and stale ale.
So glad I stayed in my room for this.
You're missing out, man.
I'm helping shelf books.
Yeah, Moira curls up in bed with all her cuddly animals.
I'm just killing time until Lara's asleep so I can
Thomas
go through her
goes to
books,
sleep, like on your hair. So, do you guys keep drinking or do you go eat?
We should probably eat, man, before we hurt ourselves.
So I was like, this was your idea, damn it.
I can kind of see which way the winds are blowing here, so we should probably eat, chill out for a bit.
It's important to eat. As you're sitting and talking, you hear one of the guards chattering and saying, "Yeah, the old monk who came through before, he returned some of the markers from some of our men who got taken. It's good to know that They were avenged, even if they didn't make it. Yeah, I know. Leosin's a good guy. I hope he comes back through here again. Ah, you know how those folks are. He seems to cover himself for a moment as you hear him speaking. And always wandering like they do. Yeah, but I mean, you think he'll find something out? Well, maybe. I hope he did learn something useful. Maybe put a stop to these attacks.
Can you guys give me like 5 minutes? I gotta get the kids in the.
Yeah, in fact,
Gotta get
now
them
is
to bed.
probably a perfect time to take a break because we haven't done that yet. We'll go ahead and take a break for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. We'll be right back. Manny, go take care of your kids. Everybody
Yes.
else, get settled with your respective animals and your
Yeah.
beers and so on. And we'll be
Your
right back after
romance
these
novels.
You mean I'm doing my best.
I love it. I love it. That's got to go up on the Twitter later.
Yes, that's awesome.
All right, we'll be
Sarah,
right back.
that bat video is how I was imagining Thomas.
It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love sky puppies. I kept talking about them, and then Winston finally bought me a pair of bat earrings, and they're tiny and adorable. Bats.
I'm trying to channel all of those romance we just finished the last list, or like this month's list for purchasing for the library. I'm on the romance novel buying committee, so I've seen a fair few covers, and I can say that we always for some reason buy stuff with guys with kilts. It circulates really well here. If it's got a guy in a kilt on the cover, it checks out like gangbusters.
Wow. I'm excited to see the fan art.
It's not my best work, 100%, but...
Well, it's...
But I mean, that's also kind of the charm of a romance novel cover, is that it should never be someone's best art.
Exactly.
Just trying to get this, wind machine effect going. Because it's always breezy on a romance novel cover.
Oh, of course. Gotta have that flowing hair and that kilt blowing around.
Maybe you should put this tabaxi in a kilt. No shirt, but a cloak and a kilt. Just,
I wonder if there's fan art of Garrus in a kilt.
You know what? Someone's about to look. Nope. Which I feel like is a missed opportunity. Although translating, Garrus's face to an actual kitty face is proving a little difficult.
Someone made a Garrus me character, apparently. That's kind of terrifying.
I mean, you can do a lot with, the Nintendo Mii Maker.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know. I spent a lot of time on there.
I normally always match my... I think it's a Mii if it's a 3DS still. But I always match whatever is on my 3DS to whatever I'm cosplaying at a convention, because it's the only time I have my 3DS with me. I'm like, I want my outfit to match.
I have a bunch of various computer branding stickers on my DS.
I found like the one person in existence who made like a Garrus phone, or not Garrus, a Gregor phone charm from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh man.
Gregor is my one true husband though, even if I didn't manage to marry him in the game because I accidentally married Prom. Whoops! I'm accidentally queen now. Whoops. But yeah, no, like Gregor doesn't get much made. So when I saw that charm, I just like basically threw my wallet and it's like, I need that. She's like, it's in clearance. It's like $1. I'm like, I'll give you more than that. I want to support this.
You know, you just accidentally married the prince.
I did. Well, I mean, he auto marries whoever he has the strongest bond with, and I thought I was gonna be able to marry Gregor in time before that happened, and no, I was not.
What game is this?
Fire Emblem Awakening, it's great.
Ah.
You can marry people yourself. You can set up all your comrades to get married, like, and then you have kids, and you can set them up to get married. And
Is this a dating sim? I know Fire Emblem is not,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
It's a strategy game with a lot of dating sim elements. I played it for the dating sim elements. I think that's what I'm here for.
Have you played Dandelion, Wishes Sent for You?
No. I'm guessing it's a dating sim.
It is a dating sim, but it's one of the better written dating sims that actually has an interesting and compelling story.
Okay, so what's the story?
It's super anime. It's a super anime story.
They all are. Let's be real.
It's a girl that comes home one day to find a basket full of kittens and bunnies, and then they turn into attractive anime men.
I'm sorry, what is this called again?
Dandelion Wishes Sent for You. It's on Steam.
Of course it is. I'm doing after the stream tonight.
So I need to send this
I
to one
wish
of my
it was
friends
brought
now.
to you.
It would be hilarious.
Dandelion Wishes brought to you.
See,
It's on
I've
sale
noticed-
for 30% off on Steam right now.
Oh. See, I've noticed that all like the ones that have the most stupid anime plot lines are also almost always the best written ones. Like, the more outlandish they go, like Hatful Boyfriend's still one of my favorite pieces of literature. Just ever. It's one of the most well-written games, just ever. And everyone's like, wait, the bird game? I'm like, yeah. No, if you play the whole thing, and like all the routes, and unlock everything, it's one of the best stories you'll find. And like best laid out stories, because it all builds into this big political intrigue. And you're like, I just came here to date birds. I didn't know I was solving bird-human relations, like international relations, and also my own murder. God, I love that game.
Birds.
I linked a Dandelion for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I went and found it and sent it to one of my friends.
It's
She reads
Oh,
his
pretty
spells.
great.
that art though. Oh, the blonde one looks like Natsuki from my idol game. Oh no,
Oh.
this is gonna be
She
dangerous.
sold.
I am. I am 500% sold.
It's really good. It's one of the. I mean, I don't do a lot of dating sim games, but I actually really like that one. It has a really good story, and it obviously it has replayability because you can like do it over and romance each of the characters. Blah blah blah. I enjoyed it for what it was. I definitely enjoyed it, and the art is really good.
Like, I'm 500% here for this. Also, if you were wondering, like, in that point when we were still like figuring out stats and shit, like when I was just nodding vigorously but not saying anything, it's because I had my mic muted because I was playing an idle phone game on my phone where, you know, I make the idle boys dance and then romance them. So that's what I was doing with my time. Because I don't have a problem, not at all. I just like trash games.
Well, let me know if you play this what you think of it, because I really like it.
I've actually been thinking of getting into doing more Twitch streaming, but if I do, it's gonna be playing a Otome game, so I may play this on stream.
Twitch stream Dandelion wishes brought to you.
Yep. Shout out to Sarah/Morrook for giving me that dank Otome game hookup.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Damn it. Damn it, John. Hi, Manny. We're talking about dating sims.
Yeah.
About dating Sims? Really?
Yeah.
Put your little hand in mine.
Also, I'm drawing this Garrus clone in a kilt.
Nice.
I mean, not that you'll be able to see much of the kilt on the cover of this trashy romance novel, but you know, it's there in spirit.
Yeah, the idea is that they should be wearing as little clothing as possible.
Oh yeah. No, like the amount of cleavage on the girl on this cover is just so much.
As it should be.
What kind of a romance novel cover would it be if it didn't have absurd amounts of cleavage?
Like the bodice looks like it is just barely hanging on by a thread. Just
As
you know,
it
as
should be.
yeah, as you do. So wait, did we ever get a title for this trashy romance book? Or do I have to come up with that? Oh, I know, that's right.
Or Astromeda.
Astromeda.
God, that title does not match the image whatsoever, but it's going on there.
Perfect. What really happened is we gave it the title of a porn.
Yes.
That's really more of a porn title than a romance novel title. Legitimately, a romance novel title would probably be something like Across the Stars, or something equally sappy.
Deep
Across
in
the Starlit
space.
Desert. Our heroine, Flora, encounters a rakish, not French rogue. I don't know. I'm trying to match as many stereotypes as I can in here.
Right. Oh, and the alternative porn title to Ass Effect would be Deep Throat Space.
Space 9.
Wow.
Deep Throat Space 9.
Not gonna say I'd read it, but I would totally read it.
Yep.
It's gotta have like Fabio on the cover too, you know.
I'm trying to get this cat to look as Fabio as catly possible.
Fabio Cat. I hope he has a shredded six-pack and that he's like kind of glistening.
How did you? Well, he can't glisten. He's got fur.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
Well,
but he's
but
shredded.
How did you know that I was drawing the six-pack right as you spoke? Like,
Because it wouldn't be a proper romance novel if he weren't shredded AF.
not that I'm
Oh, yeah.
really sure how to make a cat look shredded, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
You know, it's the effort. It's the effort that counts. We just need the intent of six-pack abs.
Yeah.
Because the world has to know that if you are not a fully shredded, six-pack owning man with like 0.3% body fat, you don't deserve to be on the cover of a romance
Give me
novel.
1 second, guys.
Okay. Yeah, Josh, Deep Throat Space 9. It's the follow-up to Ass Effect 4, Astromeda. God, keep up.
Except this one takes place in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just...
basically
It's
every.
a crossover fic.
It's basically every alternate timeline episode ever.
Yeah, I'm just coming up with sci-fi porn names now.
I'm
It's
thinking I might go
basically
with
what
the
happens-
classic calibrating my heart.
It's basically what happens when they go into the alternate universe.
See,
a
Ryan
parallel universe.
for too long, and this is what happens. Oh, Ryan's back. Stop talking about porn.
Right.
Should I give you guys a few minutes?
Here we
Yes! Yes! Beautiful. Yeah, so the sequel to Astromeda is Deep Throat Space Nine.
go.
You can decide if you want to give me a DM or not. We understand. We talked about
It's
dating.
nothing I haven't heard before. Nothing I haven't heard before. The name of the romance series, by the way, is The Dragon Slayers.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Was this book number 5 in the Dragon Slayers or book number 6?
3.
Book 3. Oh. Whoa, I got the whole series, yeah.
There might be more. You don't know.
Oh my, now I'm on a quest.
The new side quest is collect all of the Dragon Slayer series. Manny came back, but then he had to leave again.
I understand. Kiddos take precedence.
Do kiddo things.
Kiddos are important.
Yay, 2-minute Photoshop.
Josh put quotation marks around the word Slayer.
Please look on Facebook.
Oh my God. John, what have you done now?
Oh my god.
Photoshopped a kilt onto Garrus.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, this is...
Oh my god.
To describe this series, by the way, this is very much one of those, like bodice ripper fronted, tawdry
that's what I
romance novels,
illustrated.
but it's about ostensibly a young woman who sets out into the world to be a hero and to become a great hero, and so she sets out to slay a dragon, and along the way she meets this world-weary, hard-bitten ranger Tabaxi, who is very, very focused on making sure that his arrows fly true. So, and on the way
That's why they're checking that arrow.
they
Caliber.
form an unlikely romance.
It's always unlikely. The romance, no matter, even though this is a romance book, it's always an unlikely
I
romance.
literally pulled this out of thin air. I mean, what did you want from me?
No, it's perfect. You literally described an actual romance plot, like legit. I would buy that book for the library because it would circulate.
Do you know? I was in a university bookstore when I think I was maybe 15 or 16, and I actually found a book. I mean, it stood out to me not because it was one of those kinds of novel covers, because they're all like that. Let's be honest, they're all like that. But this one had my name on it.
Like literally? Or...
There is literally the male love interest in the story was a Scotsman who had my name. My literal exact name. And I was scarred. I'm not gonna lie, I was scarred. In fact, I think I still have it somewhere. I bought it because I was like, well, this is hilarious. So,
Please tell me you read it.
Oh yeah, no, I suffered through all 200 something pages. It was terrible. It was absolutely some of the worst prose I've ever read. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they literally just put a couple of trained monkeys in front of a typewriter and just have them flail at the screen. And
this was someone's magnum opus. This was the story that they were born to tell.
Is that what you think? Because I'm pretty sure that they just did a find replace for a lot of the verbs and nouns, and then they did a find replace for all of the names, and that's how they crank out a lot of these romance novels.
I mean, well, no, it's you get into a rut of writing them as a person who writes novels and such. you kind of recycle ideas a lot.
Well, I mean, there aren't that many new ones.
Yeah. There's only so many chocolate orbs for eyes out there.
Oh yeah, and what was it? Love tunnels out there. It's what we refer to as purple prose. So, Manny, yes. Everybody makes it to bed. Everybody more or less manages to rest without upchucking ridiculous amount of food. There's a lot of celebration. There's a lot of relief at the passing of the dragon.
Art I've ever seen.
And there are, of course, there's a night of Sky Puppy, Land Puppy, and Tree Puppy cuddles. While at the same time, back at wherever Valara ended up, there is a romance novel called The Dragon Slayers, and she's reading part 3 and really wondering what happens in books 1 and 2.
I'm like, hey, Jarrell, wake up. Jarrell, wake up. Why would she read those books and not share it with us? You know?
I just bought them.
I mean,
I have no such. I would never have such tawdry.
don't get me wrong. I'm not into those books, okay? However,
a waste of paper taking up space in my Ignore the thing that's falling out of my backpack. No. I would never waste space.
I'm just imagining you like sitting there with the cookbook like right up to your face like this, and hidden inside the cookbook is the romance novel, and you're just like, I'm totally learning how to. This is a page turner of a cookbook.
This potato soup
Mix
is just
those
amazing.
eggs. Oh. Yeah, you gotta really stir that stew.
Upside down.
Sarah buys it. She just. I had no idea you were so interested in cooking.
I love food. Food's great.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My best Kirk, you know.
Of course.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're all officially back.
So the next morning then.
Yes. I apologize for not switching the screen back, but yes. The next morning. And yes, we do mean most literally all romance plots. So the next morning, you get up. You come down and the mayor sends someone to invite you all to breakfast with him. So Nighthill greets you. Rough night then.
No, you should see Jarrell. No, I'm good.
Yeah, really?
Totally fine, yeah. I didn't
he cracks an egg and mixes it into a drink and stirs it a little bit and hands it over to you both. Here, drink this, you'll feel fine.
You alright?
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't sleep good. It was fine. Nothing happened. It was fine.
Yeah, you're taking that first Constitution check there. Yeah, okay. Jarrell, you're more or less fine. You could stand to have like some water, maybe. But all of you have bathed, you have refreshed, you have rested. Sir Arik can finally, take some of the bandages off from having been beat to crap over the last several days.
Multiple times, yes.
Yeah. Your armor is polished. You are ready to go. Mayor Nighthill sits down with you. So, what will you do now?
That's a great question. Well, I'm still on the quest to find my friend because she's still completely AWOL and probably still kidnapped by dragon cultists. So
Oh, that's
I'll be on
terrible.
their trail.
I hope you find her. Since if you are in fact still intent upon searching for the dragon cultists, an urgent missive arrived in the night for Leosin. I believe he came back with some of you. He left out early this morning with your friend Tufar. I believe he insisted he be called.
Yes. Yes, Poncho.
I'm sorry to say he left without you, but he left a note. Yes, here. And he hands over a note. You can see it's not actually from Poncho, although part of it does appear to be in his handwriting. This is from Leosin. As you open it, you can see that Leosin says, "Thank you very much for the assist and the rescue. He had gotten in over his head, and he greatly appreciates your service and your work. He would very much appreciate your continued service if you would like to meet him. He has a job for you that will help to further his own investigation into these dragon cultists and see if perhaps something larger is afoot if you choose to come." He also mentions that in the note that you can find him at the town of El Terrell, and if you would like to come along, the costs of your travel will be paid for. He has left a sum to pay for horses and riding gear to speed your journey.
Did he mention whether or not we're hunting? Oh no, yeah, he mentioned what we're doing.
On a second sheet of paper tucked into it, Tufar's note to you all says something to the effect of, "Friends, I have enjoyed very much traveling with all of you. I find that my calling takes me along a different path now as I leave with Leosin to seek my fortune and learn more about the world and about the secrets that it can teach. There are many more stories to tell, and I hope ours come together again in the future. Travel safely." And he has signed it Poncho Tufar Fonsal.
I want to miss that guy.
Yeah.
He always had them good jokes.
He's going too far out of our reach.
Yeah.
Mayor
Best we can do
Nighthill
without him.
looks at you as you read through the letter. He left a sum with me to cover your travel arrangements should you choose to come to join him in Alterel. Obviously, we would hate to lose you, but I do understand if the world takes you elsewhere.
I say we go investigate the dragon stuff. We should
Yeah,
follow.
no, I mean-
Mm-hmm.
That's
I mean, unless you guys just want to hang out here for a few months and just relax, you know.
I mean, there are the
grins.
rest of the books in the
I
series
hardly
that you
think
read.
it would be that relaxing. Because I can certainly think of some things I could use the 4 of your skills for, but I do understand. Adventure.
Gotta go save the world.
I was a young man once myself, and if I could, but I have these people here to care for, and I have, of course, my township to keep up. But perhaps you would all come back sometime and tell us your tales and see us again. You've become something of a sensation among our people. I heard about that drinking contest last night. They're all very grateful to have their friends and family home, and their wealth restored as well in many cases. We appreciate you bringing back what you did, even if it wasn't everything. And if you could find out what did happen to the rest of it, since you are investigating these cultists further, I don't hope that any of it is returned. I think it's beyond our reach at this point, but knowing that justice is done would be enough for me. So, if you would, write when you have a moment.
We can definitely do that. And thank you for your gracious hospitality upon our return. It was nice to get to sleep in a real bed last night.
You're most welcome, all of you. You are all welcome. Anytime. Well, and with that, Nighthill finishes his breakfast and is immediately pulled away by advisors and counselors and people asking, what are you going to do about my house that got stepped on by a dragon, you know.
I mean, you didn't have insurance, like.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do, you know?
Don't say that. There's a cottage industry just waiting to be born, and it just stands for dragon insurance. That's going to be a thing now.
Well, you didn't have the lightning dragon rider, so actually this isn't covered. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, you only covered for water, you know? You didn't cover for the lightning, so
Yeah,
nothing we
fire
can do about
dragon, totally different thing.
Mm.
Let that be a lesson to you guys. Always get the premium package. Sword Coast Insurance. I can see it now.
That's how we make our money.
Yep.
I would say we should do that, but
We should do it.
We should
You
do
immediately all find that as you wake up the next day that your alignments have shifted. You are all evil now.
Hey, I didn't participate in this.
With the exception of Moraruk, who apparently opens a conservation house specifically for her own personal animals.
Which is insured, by the way.
Well,
Mm.
as you check the notations, you find that looking at a map and remembering some of your own previous travels as guards and what have you, Elturel is on the river Kionthar. It takes you back through Greenest, back to the west again, and to the north, and it's about 200 miles to Elturel. You can make the journey in approximately 6 days on horseback. It would be a little bit longer and rougher walking, but the horses are being provided by Leosin and his kind donation to the Please Travel to Meet Me fund.
I feel like we're being catfished a little bit. No. My mama didn't raise me to accept random handouts of horses to meet strange men in strange lands.
I mean, you've already met him and you fought
Yeah.
alongside him and bled alongside him and vice versa, so hopefully he doesn't count as too much of a stranger at this point, but it's up to you how you want to handle that. If you decide to go, the horses are currently being kept at the dealer's stables until you are ready to leave.
Well, the thing is, there's an animal. An animal was mentioned, so pretty much Moraruk is in the stable petting the horses, is what
Of course she is.
Moraruk isn't busy turning into a horse again, is she?
That is a different kind of game.
She's
That
not
is not what I
Loki.
meant. The look on your face said you were thinking a whole different thing. This is what I get. I get up to go away for a couple of minutes during the break, and I come back, and you guys are all talking about porn, and now your minds are all in the gutter, and
We're using Fantasy Grounds. We used to use 20, but we've been using Fantasy Grounds for a while. It works out really well. Sorry, answering questions in chat. It's a good platform.
yeah, it's been a great platform.
Yeah, I definitely prefer it to Roll20.
Although, I mean, Roll20 does have some excellent features, which I do enjoy. A lot of those features can either be emulated or, completely blown away here. It's absolutely worth it. So,
we'll say
What-
I like the dice and roll.
what do you all choose to do?
I'm gonna go meet up with Leosin. I got some dragon cults to track down and punch and get my friend back.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with her. I mean, she has all the romance novels.
He's only read parts 1 and 2. He just hasn't read part 3 yet, so he's gotta read it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sir Arik, with more than a slight sidelong glance at the bag of books that Valara is carrying, you volunteer yourself as a member of this traveling company.
I'm already with the horses.
I mean,
Moraruk,
I'm
you
not
find with Jarell at the stable, and Morrook is already thoroughly engaged, petting and grooming the horses. And the horses are returning the favor by nuzzling and generally making friends with the local druid. Give me an animal handling check if you would, Morrook.
To pet the horses?
Yeah, you make them fairly comfortable with your presence and the presence of your wolf.
Okay. I will mount up and then patiently wait by the door with my wolf.
Okay. As you arrive, there's several horses set aside. A dapple. There's a large black roan. The other two horses, just a very simple brown with white markings around the hooves and a little white streak down the nose of one of them.
Would that be a chestnut or a bay?
Chestnut.
Testing your horse knowledge.
I grew up with a horse that looked exactly like I just described. Leave me alone. I love that horse. Shaker was a very sweet horse. Anyway.
What's the fourth horse? We need to know what all four colors are so we can decide which horse we're riding.
That's right.
I
It's
gotta
important
make
to
sure it
know
matches
these
my
things.
outfit.
Yeah, you have to accessorize your horse.
I'm pretty sure the tall, dark knight in dark armor needs to ride the dark horse. I don't know, just a thought.
Just maybe. Did we have a white horse for a knight in shining armor?
There is a white horse to one side. The horse does seem saddled and bridled and ready to go, if you would like to take that one.
Well, that's obviously the pally horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny, your horse has been chosen.
Sir Arik, you've been typecast.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate being a stereotype. This shows that you guys are actually paying attention to me. Thank you.
We all get to be black horse.
And then I guess we have the two brown horses. Yeet.
All right.
Luckily, brown goes with my outfit.
Make a, as you travel the trade roads, make a charisma check. Just all of you.
It's an interesting check to make for traveling.
I am the best at charisma.
I'm pretty good.
It's still better
Luckily, I
than
got that
a 3.
modifier.
Where's my charisma?
Main
It's
page.
on, main page under abilities. It's the bottom one.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the save.
No, this is just a check.
Oh, well, never mind. Do the other one.
Yeah.
I got the same number, so it didn't matter.
Hold on.
That is weird that it does that sometimes.
I do not see it. Where is it under again?
Main tab of your character sheet. and
Correct.
if you-
Under abilities.
Yes.
It's not the
yes.
save, it's the regular.
It's just
Yeah.
a straight up roll the d20 plus 2.
God. We are not
I
very good.
clearly, yeah, we're not family friendly here.
Nah, it's fine.
I've been reading too many
Been reading that
the Dragon
smut.
Slayers.
You're reading that smut again, aren't you?
No, never. I would never debase myself by reading such cheap parchment.
She says as she actually
As I
make a-
shove this book back, like
Valara,
under my
make a
cape.
Never
make a
do
deception
that.
check, Valara. Make a deception check. Sir Arik, insight.
Under skills? What was it?
It is.
Yes,
It's
it
under
is.
skills.
You're reading
Oh.
smut!
Oh man.
No one
that's-
else seems to notice, but Sir Arg catches your eye, and he clearly knows what's up as you quietly shove your copy of the Dragon Slayers back into your pouch in a hasty manner, as you turn the color of your top.
I'll keep quiet about it, but you gotta let me borrow book one.
As I quietly sneak it over to him, I was like, I never had this.
It's never happened.
But I expect it back soon.
You'll get it back.
Oh my god.
Smut club. Smut club, if you will.
Oh lord.
Wait, Ryan.
Hmm.
Remember when I wrote the Zeph smut?
I do.
It's gonna happen again.
Oh god. Tyler, if you're out there watching this, be prepared.
I wasn't talking about Zeph, I'm talking about this. I'm gonna write a couple passages.
Oh.
I mean,
boy.
I would never be excited for something like that.
Neither would
But
I.
I already have a
Here we
feeling.
go.
Maybe.
You heard
Terrible
it here
smut.
first, Twitter. There's gonna be.
I'm a
that
paladin.
level of
God is
meta,
watching you, damn it.
and apparently approving.
Alright, so we made charisma checks for traveling.
Yeah. Wait, no, we were just dragging him for a reason. We wanted him to forget about that.
I mean, you were trying to. You failed. Sarah rolled a 1 on her distract the DM strategy there.
I just wanted to get back to the game.
Yeah. You make your journey more or less without incident. There's a brief moment where it looks like a bandit group may attempt to attack, but they catch sight of all of you and they sort of back off. You do have to spend about a day and a half just kind of watching over your shoulders and keeping watch in shifts just to be safe, but eventually they stop following you.
Valara makes a rude gesture in their direction after they're out of eyesight.
Okay. After
Just
they're
FYI.
out of eyesight.
Yeah, entirely after.
Make a perception check.
Damn it. No.
Let's say make it at disadvantage.
Ah, darn it! Oh shit, son. I'm sorry,
You're pretty
guys.
sure there was nobody watching.
Oh, thank God. Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
You just...
On the afternoon of the 6th day, you come across a very orderly, large city overlooking the River Kionthar as you move across, and you can see already bustling merchant caravans, river traders. There's clearly a farmer's market off the side of the trade road that you're traveling across. You did pass several farmers along the way who were headed both to and from the market. It's a constant thing. The most distinguishing feature as you approach the city is a brilliant, magical light that hovers above it, illuminating the city both day and night. And you can see it appearing... You could see it all the way across, appearing like a star from as far away as 2 days' travel. And it's very pretty.
I have concerns. I'm just saying that now. I have concerns about, strange lights.
Well, make a history check.
Should we all, or just Valara?
Anyone who has been this way or would like to know a little bit about the area,
Man,
so you can make this untrained because this is a fairly famous landmark.
Okay, so
I
Me,
know
nothing.
absolutely nothing about it. I'm like,
Neither
this is
do I.
dirt.
Arik, surprisingly for you, this is your first time here. You've never been here before.
I'm pretty sure Pretty sure the forest doesn't glow like this. I don't know what's happening.
Pretty sure those are trees right there. Those are trees? Yes.
Trees.
No,
I know
buildings.
trees.
Buildings.
I like trees. Those aren't trees.
No.
Shiny. I don't trust
That's a
it.
star. That's something else.
Trust
All
it.
right. Both
I-
Lara and Jarell, you know that, and are able to reassure your comrades. This is a this is a light that has been created specifically for the city, and
Oh.
it is a beautiful landmark. In fact, Jarell, you are able to share with the group if you choose, because of your role, that this light was cast over the city as a as both a beacon and as a protection. And you know that the light is painful to undead and visible from almost every corner of the small kingdom in which you are currently traveling, of Eltergard, of which Elturel is the capital. And it appears from afar as a distant star in most places. The only reason you couldn't see it from even further off in Greenest is because there's a large hill between the two, and the two cities sit about here with this hill in the way. So there's an extra sort of gleam off in the distance that always indicates, even at night from Greenest, where the city of Elturel is. What do you do when you arrive?
Um,
I think we all know where I'm going. If there's any renowned bookstores, of course.
Okay.
See if they have book 4.
God, I'm on it.
Shh.
It's going to be a
Don't tell
thing
the
from now on,
others.
I can tell.
Are there any like buildings of churches or anything here?
There are several. Make an investigation check. Just looking around. There's a lot of very large buildings that are quite ornate compared to what you're used to. You're not sure which ones are the churches and which ones are just big buildings, but you hear people talking about churches, and that there is in fact a large church to the god Torm here somewhere in town. There's a number of other discussions. Someone mentions Bahamut at some point. Someone mentions, briefly. You think you hear the word Mistra mentioned in conjunction with something about a spell, but it's hard to say. In
I
any
look
case,
at all the ornate buildings and mutter under my breath, "It's easier when they're old trees."
Our
Alright.
little local hippie.
Well, it's been a rough 6 days. I mean, between rain and road and occasionally stopping to camp, you've made good time. But you're ready to knock the dust from your boots, and you're very ready to. In fact, actually, I should have made you do this earlier. Can I get a Constitution check from each of you?
Oh no.
I wasn't
I'm a weak
drinking.
little librarian.
yes, I'm the best at this.
I'm not doing too terrible.
All of you have been doing fine and getting plenty of sleep, but something about the last couple of days of travel has just been really rough on you, Jarell. You have a point of exhaustion, so you're making all of your checks at a disadvantage right now.
What time of day is it when we get into the city?
It's about mid-afternoon. The sun is just beginning to sink.
I suppose it would be prudent to find an inn and some food.
Should we meet up with the Ocean first, or should we find an inn first and meet up with him tomorrow?
Where are we supposed to meet with him? Did he say?
He did not. He said you could find him in the city, but he didn't leave specifics.
All right, we're taking a nap first, and then we can find him tomorrow.
Well, okay. And you can always ask for him, too. I mean, there's ways to find people, which,
It's been
of course,
6 days.
Jarell and Sir Auric know very keenly, because their job occasionally, in the past as guardsmen, has been to find people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but if we're tired from travel, it's probably wiser to get a full night's rest so that way we're better at investigating when we're looking for him.
Okay.
Also, it's not like I found book 4 here or anything.
I mean, you never know.
It's not like I have an errand to run or anything.
Well, while you guys are sleeping, I'll be right back. I'll just be right back.
I'm just gonna go take a walk, get some fresh air real quick, with my purse.
All right. Well, you find your way to a tavern called the Pair of Black Antlers. So you are able to locate this tavern fairly easily. It's just off the main trade road as you enter the town.
This is the library or the inn?
This is the inn.
Okay.
Now, if you're looking for a library, I'm going to need you to make checks to find those.
No. I want to put my stuff down first before I go exploring.
Right.
Okay, so we find an inn. We go to the inn. Let's get some food and a room for the night then.
Okay. Food is easy to get. As you walk in, you can see a number of people bustling around. There is a young dwarven woman standing behind the counter, polishing a glass and keeping an eye on things. People come and go. Sometimes they come and ask her things, and she talks to them. Sometimes they give her coins. Sometimes she gives them drinks. She seems to be in charge.
Alright, who wants to take point?
Morik kind of shrinks behind everyone else.
Alright, just give me notes. What am I asking? I'll go talk to her.
Do we want to be super cheap and just get one room, or do we want to, split
We
it?
have money now. I mean, I guess I can ask how much it is, but I mean, we have money.
True, we do got them dank
Rooms are not
muns.
very expensive.
Yeah. How much is a room?
Okay, well, you walk over and you approach the woman. She looks up and says, "Hi, hello, dear. What can we do for you?"
How much is for one room?
Well, for one room for just the four of you there.
Yeah, correct.
You got yourself some interesting tastes there. She kind of winks over at Valara and makes an eye over at Jarell.
Yeah.
Well, if the lot of you would like to stay in one room, it depends what kind of room you want. We've got rooms of all sizes here.
Bigger room for all four of us.
Just one big room.
Yeah, and something with preferably more than one bed, if possible. If possible.
See, the smaller rooms that are just for one person and have one bed, depends on how nice you like, but if you want a big room with several beds, we could probably call that 2 gold a day for each of you for a very nice room with multiple beds. One each. Sorry, I was having you on a bit there, dear.
We'll take it.
Oh,
Now-
we don't need a super nice room, guys.
But it's only 2 gold. We just made like 250 over there each.
That is book money
Really?
right there.
She just kind of leans on the bar and just continues to
I
smile.
whispered that.
the
I did
exact
not
same
say that
smile.
out loud.
She's just smiling at you and polishing the glass, and
I was mentally talking to Valera. I did not say that out loud.
she does not have that skill, and neither do you. If you're having the debate about the rooms, she just kind of looks around and says, "Well, you don't have to get the nicest, biggest room to yourselves. I could always get you all, individual accommodation."
How much is
That
it?
work, yeah. Some nice cheap individual accommodation. Yeah.
Well, if you're looking for cheap, I'm afraid you've come to the wrong end. But,
Well, not like super cheap, but
I
just not
should
super
hope not.
fancy.
Now, if you don't want terribly fancy, just few frills, still separate beds, dear.
Yes, please.
I see.
Just me.
Just
Just
you.
me in one bed. Yes.
We could do say 4 silver a day for a nice room for just yourselves.
That seems amenable to me. Yeah.
All individual, you understand. They won't be terribly large, and they won't have their own. They won't have their own baths, but you can certainly draw nearer, and I can certainly have a bath brought up for you.
You guys realize that I just said how much money we had out loud. So chances are, if we sleep in separate rooms, somebody's going to get mugged. Okay? And we can't watch out after each other while everyone's sleeping.
Well, we are well guarded.
Shh! I'm not even anywhere near you. Like, can
Are
you
you not-
stop listening to my conversation?
Should I give you some privacy then?
Yes,
Just
thank
kind-
you very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Come find me when you're ready to make a decision. She just
Poor
grins and
Art.
saunters off.
And I'm gonna turn directly towards Arg and be like, "You idiot! Now we gotta go find a different inn."
No, we're fine. If we just say something crazy.
She's gonna
Then-
charge us like out the wazoo for this.
Okay, I have an idea. We'll empty out all of our money things and then put some dust and like 2 coins in one, and we'll be like, "Here we go. This is all we have."
We can just there. It's a big city. There's lots of inns. We'll go find a new place. Sir Arg will stand at the back with more
This
rook
place
and they'll
is
say
fancy
thing.
also. Look, this place is fancy and nobody wants fancy, so let's just go to a cheaper inn. We'll go to the Motel 6 up the road.
You
As
old
you're-
motel.
As you're looking around, you actually what are your respective passive perceptions? Let me...
God, it's the worst
Sir Arik,
traveling
you
with
absolutely
Dad.
do not notice.
Minus 12.
Yeah, Morrook is the only one of you with better than 12. So yeah, Morrook is the only one that notices. Morrook, as you guys are
The rest of my party is bickering.
as the rest of your party is bickering and completely embarrassing you and giving you just the worst case of secondhand embarrassment ever, you notice
Sounds about
Leosin and several people who are dressed very like him sitting at a table off to one side. They are over in a corner, not in main view of the room, of the door, but in a position where they can see anyone who walks in before anyone sees them.
Using my staff, I smack Arik on the shoulder.
Arik, there's a bit of a clang against your shoulder.
You have gone quiet, sir.
Yeah, you're really quiet, Manny. I can't hear you at all now.
Can you hear me now? No?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
Leosin is here.
Oh, well, how handy.
Just my opinion, but I want to stay in a nicer place. I think the cheaper motels are the ones who are more likely to be mugged.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Well, if
can we...
Leosin's staying here, I mean.
Alright, let's stay here then.
Okay. She turns and walks over to the counter, kind of uncomfortably. We'll have 4 rooms, 1 bed in each. Also, my wolf stays with me.
All right. The dwarf goes, "Right you are then, dearie. There will be an extra 5 copper per day for a wolf cleaning fee, if that's all right with you, just in case. You should have seen the bear we had here a couple of months ago."
Thank you. I...
Charge 10 silver a day for the bear. Seriously, if you ever open an inn, do not allow bears.
I will pay... We have a communal, like, party goal, right?
No one has managed to set up any party funds yet, so no.
Okay.
Everybody's got their own money.
I'll say I collected everyone's silver then before I went up. And I give her the silver for everyone, plus additional copper for Puck.
Okay.
How much silver was it again? How do I take off silver?
4 silver each per day. So for now, I guess we just pay 4 silver to start with.
Yes. Where's my silver to take that off?
Under your
Inventory
inventory,
towards the
under
bottom.
SP, you have 46 silver pieces right now.
Okay, so it's 4 days then? 2 a day? What was it?
Now I have 42.
Why is it doing that? Okay. There we go.
I pay her. I collect the keys for everyone's rooms. I walk back over to the group, hand out everyone's respective keys, and then walk over to Leosin.
Leosin is sitting with a handful of his disciples and keeping an eye on another table where you see a dwarf and several others boisterously drinking and having what appears to be either an arm wrestling contest or a card game. It's hard to tell which at any given moment. Leosin looks up and smiles at you and welcomes you all to the table. Please, please, come and join me. Thank you. I'm pleased you came.
Well, thank you for leaving the horses for us. It made it much faster to get here.
I don't doubt. Sir Arik, good to see you. Jarell, glad to see you all made it. Morarok, it is a pleasure. I appreciate the tending of me when you found me. Couldn't hear that, Sarah. What?
Thank you for lending us horses. Susan was quite nice.
Susan.
I hope you appreciated her. She is a delight.
He wants you to respect his choices.
Well, that's why her name is... Yes. In any case. Sarah, did you seriously just misgender a horse?
Doctor Who, but you know.
I got the reference. Alright.
Give me 1 second, guys. You guys continue. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. So, over the course of a few minutes, Leosin dismisses his disciples and sends them off about their errands. They speak quickly in a series of phrases that don't seem to mean anything that you really get exactly. And then he dismisses them and says, please, please, all of you, join me. I apologize for having to take care of some business first, but I'm very happy you could make it. I have a proposal for you.
What is your proposal?
Well, first I propose food.
Yeah.
And, second, do you see that man over there? And he sort of leans and indicates the burly dwarf who, in his shiny armor, is sitting at the table a few tables away, playing at games and boisterously drinking, but also always doing so with a very hawkish, watchful eye on everything going on around him.
Are we gonna fight him?
No, I should hope not. The man's a terror in battle. I would never set you up against him. Certainly not, since he's someone who I think, whose influence might do you some good.
Right, so who is this new friend we haven't quite made yet?
Well, this is Ontha Froome, and he is a good man. Very, bit of a practical joker. Likes a stiff drink and a friendly scuffle, but he is a good friend, and if you can impress him with your own charm and abilities, I think that he might see fit to welcome you into a new and exciting life, if that's something you would wish. We don't always find a lot of people with the requisite talent for getting into trouble and surviving it that all of you seem to have. And part of the reason I've asked you to meet me here is because I wanted you to meet him. And I think it would be worth your while. I think that we, my organization, can help you in your search for your friend, Miss Valara, and in our own search for what exactly these dragon cultists are up to. There have been other dragon attacks across the Greenway and other parts of the Sword Coast. Greenest was not an isolated incident. But before we trust you with everything, I wanted to introduce you with my friend here, and if he agrees, then we'd be happy to help. Other than that, if not, you've had a nice journey, I hope, and I'll certainly be happy to share a meal with you and bid you on your way if you decline the offer. But I think you'd be suited to it. I do.
Well, I'm certainly up for making new friends.
What say you, the rest of you?
Like to hear the offer.
Well, my offer for the time being is go get to know him, and we'll see how things go. But should you need me, I was actually due to leave in a day or so, but I'm glad you caught me. This could have been awkward if I'd not been here to make the introductions myself. So, if you'll follow me, he stands up and walks over with his pot of stew in one hand to Onthar's table. Onthar Froom. Yes. Meet. Well, I suppose you don't have a name as a traveling group as such. Meet Sir Auric, Jarell, Morrook, and Valara, who has the look of a librarian about her, but I assure you she's quite, feisty.
Mysterious, yes.
I can pew with the best of them.
Right, what she said. Actually, at you saying that, Onthar seems to break out into just this deep-chested belly laugh, and he apparently found it quite funny. Oh, I like her already. What about the rest of you? You here done to, you here for a drink, or you here for a game? We do both of those things here in this tavern.
We saw how well it went with drinking last time.
Oh, is that so? These boys can't keep it, eh?
We're kind of in an unfamiliar area. I don't think I'm quite interested in drinking or a game.
Ah, come on. Have a seat with me, lad. Surely you can get a bit more familiar with the area by having a drink and enjoying yourself. And you don't have to drink too much if you don't wish, but yeah, at least enjoy some of the local color, right?
Fair enough. I will sit here and not drink or eat anything.
Round for my friends.
What is this game you speak of?
He actually appears to have a card table set up off to the side, but he gestures at one of the fellows who just left. Well, that young man over there just lost 10 gold because he thought he could beat me in an arm wrestling contest. Would you like to try your hand? Maybe his gold could be yours.
That card game over there wouldn't happen to be Three Dragon Annie, would it?
Oh, you play.
Just a bit.
Ah, interesting. This could be fun. Go ahead and make an insight check. He looks confident. He also he doesn't seem like he's trying to take you off your coin so much as he really is just genuinely looking for someone to compete against.
I'll play a game or two.
That's the spirit, lad. He claps you on the shoulder. Come, sit down. Would the rest of you like anything? We haven't even finished our dinner here yet, but I was about to order another round of food too. And about this time, another round of alcohol that he ordered comes by. There's a very fine wine that gets put on the table, and a couple of mugs of beer get set down. Just this rich, frothy, slightly nutty smelling stuff with a hint of cinnamon on the air.
Well, I can't pass that up. That just smells so delightful.
Oh, that's the spirit, lass. Cheers. And he just clinks with you and has a drink. Go ahead and make a constitution check.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
For everybody or just for...
For whoever's drinking.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Valara.
Drunk!
I'm not drunk yet, but I'm a little tipsy.
Morok, you managed to hold your liquor quite well,
Yes.
and you polish off your beer over a matter of minutes, and you hardly feel a thing. Valara, you turn bright red, and the room is swimmy a little bit. You're very warm, and you feel bold.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Jarrell.
Don't mention the books. Don't mention the books.
Why would I ever mention the books?
Shh.
Oh, you like books, do you?
Oh.
Jarrell, see, if you're going to be playing cards with him, go ahead and make a... Actually, you're proficient in this card game, aren't you?
I guess I am.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 plus your proficiency.
Let's see. D20 plus 2.
Oh, well played, lad. Hey, there you go. So the two of you match numbers on your draw. He says, "Not bad, not bad at all." Go ahead and make another roll for another hand. So what brings you to the city? Oh, well played. He loses with good nature and good grace and slides 2 gold to you across the table.
Oh, just adventuring.
Adventure, you say? What manner of adventure would that be? And he goes ahead and draws the next hand. Very nicely done. He slides another 5 gold across the table to you.
Just on the trail of some cultists.
Oh,
Usual
cult.
stuff.
I'd be very careful who you tell that to. There's all manner of cults who don't care to be spoken of quite openly. Although, and he looks around, I think you'll be fine here. Blast and damn, thought I had that one. He slides you another gold piece. And what about the rest of you? Are you all in this cult hunting business together?
They took my best friend from childhood, so I'm gonna track him down. I'm gonna punch him.
All
I'm gonna
that
punch
then.
him real hard.
I like your spirit, lass, but you got to be careful if you're coming up against any kind of cult. They tend to be secretive, and they like to punch people in the face a bit themselves. Depending on the cult. I mean, there was this one cult I ran across once in Cormier. Worshipped cheese, of all things.
I mean, cheese is
Gross.
pretty delicious, so like, can't
No,
blame 'em.
you'd be surprised how quick they are to punch people, though. Jarrell, it's your hand. My God, lad. That's it. I'm out. He slides you another 5 gold. You've taken about 15 gold off of him in this way over the course of the last 2 hours of drinking, conversation, and.
Amazing.
All right, lad.
Good game.
You've. I must admit that's no one else has been able to beat me that consistently. That's very impressive. And he kind of shares a look with Leosin. Leosin shrugs, smiles. Well, I tell you what. Come with me. He nods over at the bartender, who just nods back and keeps an eye on the door. Anthar stands up and walks a couple of feet backward to one of the doors off to the side of the main tavern and walks into the room. Leosin waits for you. Apparently, he likes you.
I get up and follow
And well
him.
done, by the way. I've been trying to win 15 gold off of him for a year.
Our very own King of Games here.
All strategy.
That's part of what impressed him, lad.
I get up and follow him.
Leosin looks at the rest of you. Would any of the others care to join?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going.
as I get up and stumble after them.
Did you keep drinking the whole time?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm sobering up, but you know,
You're
the
still,
motor function's
you know.
the last thing to come back.
of course. Well, all right. So it's fairly late in the evening now. Your rooms are well prepared. You know that they are. Several of Anthar's squires are in this back room. They appear to be packing some gear. One of the squires shows you off to this private space as Anthar goes and lights a couple of extra lanterns and brings you in and closes the door. Well, my friends, we do have some important business to discuss. At this point, I suppose you all know about as much as we do for certain, but thanks to you, we now know twice as much as we did 10 days ago. Something terrible and rotten is afoot. We don't have a great formal organization to impose these rascals, not just yet, anyway. We are working on that. But we do need people, like you, who know how and when to fight, and how and when to keep their heads down and observe. Can't promise you anything in particular, except long days filled with danger and stress, but what could be better than that?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And they sort of lean in, and Leosin says, well, what we're doing, we are trying to form an alliance of sorts, a way to oppose this cult. We need information. We need it to cross several kingdoms' boundary lines, and unfortunately no one kingdom has listened to us just yet when we brought them word of this. Isolated dragon attacks is one thing, but a cult working on behalf of multiple? The black dragon that whose eggs were in that lair that I was tracking when the lot of you ran into me was unrelated to the blue dragon that was attacking Greenest, and Then there was the red that Onthar and his squires faced off in the north. So all of them had signs of occult support. All of them were looted by cultists and either mercenaries or lizard people who were working for them in some stripe or another. We're trying to pull together as many scholars and concerned leaders amongst the communities as we can, trying to fight back and find out what exactly they're doing and what else we can do together. Because if dragons are working together, or if some cult is trying to organize their efforts, that can't be good for any of us. If you're with us, we'd love to have you.
Well, I'm definitely in.
Yep, count me in, man.
It sounds good.
Let's go wreck some dragons.
Heck yeah.
And Colton.
Hells yeah.
Onthar looks around at the lot of you and says, well, very well then. I would like to formally welcome you then to the ranks of the Harpers. And that's what we're going to call it for tonight.
Sweet. Got the squad.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know we're cutting it a little early, but I wanted to make sure we ended on a good story note, and that seemed like a perfect dot to end it on. Congratulations, guys. You are all now members of the secret society known as the Harpers. Which...
Wait, but isn't that like a cult too, or like no?
No, not at all. They've got kind of a bohemian vibe about them.
Not like
They're
a
very.
frat.
It's a cult.
It's
Bohemian.
not a cult.
So Auric's like, dang it! I was trying to fight the cult, and now I'm part of a cult.
They're not a cult. We'll get into that next time.
Marketing scheme. It's not a cult.
We'll get
not a
into
cult.
that next time.
We are.
But in the
cult
meantime,
hunters.
I do appreciate everyone being here tonight, and I'm glad that none of us had any major technical issues this evening. This has been
Yay!
great.
When I cursed us.
Yeah.
Yes, and no
Now-
injuries. Yes.
I do apologize in advance.
Almost die.
Yes.
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 Because
I do apologize in advance. I will be in Florida for what would be normally our next episode. So, guys, do you want to get together next Monday instead to go ahead and catch up on that, or?
Wait, what's happening? You're going to Florida?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Florida for the week of our next episode, so I'm asking if anyone wants to get together for the 26th instead. Or actually, no, wait. I'm sorry. We have a different show starting soon. Josh, can you give me a date on that? No? Yes? Maybe? So,
Hey,
all right.
there's delay.
I tell you what, since we have Tristan's new show starting on alternate Mondays instead, forget I said that.
I just want to know why you're prioritizing a vacation in Florida over this clearly much more important game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that's for me to know. But in the meantime, I hope
He's got his own cults to fight.
it's true.
Find out how far Sir Auric gets in these books before we like continue. I mean, it's really important.
I mean,
have
that
to
is
know.
important. But yeah, we'll try to come up with something to do for downtime on March the 5th. But in the meantime, I appreciate all of you coming. I appreciate everybody who has been chatting with us throughout the evening and enjoying us. And yeah, Josh says that starts on the 12th, so we actually could, if you want to, have an episode on the 26th instead. Would that work for anyone?
That would work for me.
I think it'll work for me too. I think, yeah.
Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
Sarah?
have to find out.
Yeah, I'll check.
Okay. Well, let's tentatively say that yes, we will get together on the 26th instead of the 5th, and then we'll resume our normal schedule. And if we need to NPC you, John, I would hate to, but I do understand. In any case, we'll just make sure we do a doubleheader that week, and I will look forward to getting to see you all again soon. But thanks for joining, and thanks for watching us here at Dungeon Dwellers.
Bye.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.